Sleepy, 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 sleep, 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 sleep. Good morning. It is 9:45-ish, and I'm about to leave to go to church. My ride's picking me up at 10, but I'm super sleepy. Last night was the first time I got some really, really deep, good sleep. So when my alarm went off, I wanted to cry. But I'm up and I'm ready. I have really plain clothes on for church because I didn't really wake up that. I woke up at 9:15 to get ready for 10. So I'm not don't have a super whole lot of time. But I did get makeup done. I did get makeup done. God, I can't speak English. And I'm about to put a small bag together so that I can go because I'm going a little early, so I'm going to take a book with me to read so I can do work so that when I get back, I feel comfortable taking a nap. Which will probably be good because I planned on starting an essay today. So if I do that, if I read and then start my essay, it'll give me enough of a break to do the switch over. So bear with me. Hello, everybody. So I'm out of church. I went to this church right here. So if you're in the Baltimore area, you should hit it up. My home church, though, in Dallas, we didn't get to go to before we left because I started it when we went on the road trip. But it's called North Park CME, so they're both CME churches. Yeah. I'm vlogging. I'm in a tent dress. But like 20 pounds lighter. But that's just eating in the background. But you can kind of see the church behind. You see it a little bit? Kind of old style. It's nice. Alright, well, I'm headed home. So. Yoga time. Yoga time. Yoga time. Can't stop this. Yoga, yoga. So, for my yoga, I have decided to do this 30 days of yoga by Adrian, or by Yoga with Adrian. So I'll put the link in the description in case you want to follow along with me. But this is what I'm going to do, so let's get to it. So I finished my first day of yoga. First day of yoga with Adrian. Yoga with Adrian. I think that's what it's called. And it worked out well. I'm kind of tired now, though. I'm sleepy. So I think I'm going to go take a nap, and then I'll get up and do more work. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. So on to the next one. Do the next one tomorrow. Next one is tomorrow. My version of grocery shopping. Magic. Okay, this is take two. I picked a really complicated quote to talk about, and I want to make sure I get it right. So the quote of the day today is "Religion is the opiate of the masses" by Karl Marx. And so, first, before you can really even consider this quote, you have to think about the fact what he means by religion. And so, when I read the quote, I think he means by religion not necessarily the act of believing in any sort of higher power, whether it's, Christian God, Muslim Allah, whatever. I don't think that's what he means. I think he means the ritual that is involved in religion, right? So, for a long time, religion was used by governments to control the masses of people, because who better to what a better way to control people than by telling them that not only will you suffer in this life for what you've done, but also after you die. So I think That's worth considering. I think that's what Karl Marx is referring to. I don't think he's talking about necessarily um, just the act of believing in God. I don't think that's what he's talking about. But I do think he brings us a very important point, which is we have to be cautious with how we follow our religious figures. So, because it's easy to manipulate religion, especially when things don't necessarily have to have a factual basis when we think about our religious beliefs. So it's worth being very, very cautious and careful. That doesn't mean you shouldn't believe when miracles happen, because they do happen. But we do have to be very cautious at what we take as the source of those miracles, who's directing what the miracles are. You don't want to be misled. You don't want religion to be your cocaine, basically, where you blindly follow. Blindly following is not, I don't think that's what God wants, right? I think God gave us free will for a reason. And I like to think of like a relationship with God as any other relationship, right? You have to be an active participant in that relationship. You have to think about what is God is saying to you. You have to ask questions. The act of questioning God is not bad. Like, it's got like a really, really bad reputation. But like, God knows we don't understand exactly on the same level that he does. So ask, like, wondering why something happened, the act of doing that is not bad. Talking to God and being like, I don't know what you're doing here, and I'm not really sure I like what's going on. It's not, I mean, it's like any other relationship. You're going to be angry. You're going to be hurt. You're going to forgive. You're going to move on. Like, I feel like God probably has the same issues with us sometimes. I'm disappointed in you. I'm angry at you. I'm not happy with what you're doing. But in the end, he's forgiving and merciful. And I think that's kind of maybe the difference between us and God. We don't always forgive, and he always does. But really, not to make this like a religious sermon or in any way, shape, or form, I just think it's worth being cautious. I mean, because I'm taking this class, The Garden of Eden, and we have some really religious people in there, and I think they are having issue questioning sometimes what they've been taught. And I think it's worth remembering that we're taught by men, by man. We usually get the lessons that God send us. I'm telling you, like, they're lessons from God, and usually they don't happen all at once. Usually it's something that happened a long time ago, and then all of a sudden that knowledge comes back to you, and you're like, oh, that's what you were talking about. But you have to remember, sitting down in Bible school, Bible study, vacation Bible school when you were a kid, it didn't necessarily give you all the answers, all the correct answers, all the right answers. I'm learning that usually the moral of that is usually correct. Usually it swings back to kind of the same answer when you consider it more and more. But I think it's still worth, the question, the exploration. And it brings you closer to God. So that's what I have to say on that note. Don't let religion be your opiate. Don't let it control you to the point where you're blindly following. And that's what I have to say on that. So I'm signing off. I'm Raven, and this is my Eyeview.